Alrighty, this is a backtesting session for April the 11th to the 15th. I already went ahead and did Monday because I was testing out a new entry model, which is entry model 3 V2. I'll just quickly explain the model since we are here. So going over the rules. So the new EM3 variant, at least in this case, right, we had two sell opportunities on April the 11th, or not even just opportunities, too, they're wins, right? So this new model gave us 5R on Monday. If we didn't use this model, we would not have had any other opportunities. So going over the rules here, essentially with the traditional EM3, right? I mean, the previous day, in this case, let's talk about sell scenario, right? The previous day liquidity, the previous day low, to be specific, would have to get swept during the New York session. And then from there, we can see if the market returns to an area of a premium. And then we can see if we have a 10-minute break of structure, we can potentially look for a sell continuation. However, the EM3 V2, essentially what we're doing instead is that, let's say the market swept the previous day low before the New York session started. So traditionally, we would be looking for a EM2, right? Like an EM2 buy. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the entry model overview video. There you'll understand the models that we have here. So anyways, yeah, so for EM3 V2, the market already swept the previous day low in this scenario. So instead, we want to look for an EM2, right? Looking at this example here, the market, follow my cursor here, the market took out the previous session low. Then the market returned to an area of a premium, had a strong 10-minute break of structure here, failing to have this 10-minute mark structure shift for our EM2 buy. So what this tells me is the market has the willingness to go to this session low or even perhaps this session low. So what we do here is we can then see we have a 10-minute break of structure. We used our normal entry model criteria, which would be a 5-minute order block after a strong break of structure. And then we can tag it along for 3R in this case toward the previous session low. So far for April the 11th, we got 5R with the new EM1 V2 models. So now let's take a look at Tuesday, April the 12th. We can see we got CPI, so we are going to be skipping Tuesday because I do not trade CPI. It's not possible to trade for these models. So let's go over to Wednesday. So Wednesday we got PPI 830. So we do want to mark that news up. Yeah, you'll see why I don't trade CPI, because CPI, the problem with CPI is that we sweep both types of daily liquidity, which just never happens, by the way. So if that occurs, well, then there you go. There's really no direction, right? So we are over on Wednesday now. I'm not going to mark up the news buffer for the PPI just because it takes a little too long, but just know that it is part of the criteria. Let me just put up the criteria here really quickly. So the WHI trading plan and agenda. First, I check the news. I mark the buffer, 10-minute before and 10-minute after. Has daily liquidity been swept? We can see here in this case it has not. So we want to be looking for an EM1 V1 or a V2 variance. So we'll just keep that up here in the corner for now. So far, it's looking probable that this previous day low is going to be swept. We just want to see how the market reacts from either two of these points here. So we got the session high that needs to be swept, and we also have a session low. So depending on which one gets swept, we can kind of determine the market direction from there. Okay, previous day high. So take a look at ES. Kind of the same story here. Previous day low looks more probable, but depending on how price reacts, we'll see from there. So we got the previous session low, previous session high. I forgot to mark up the London session highs and lows because we want to use those too. So let me just do that really quickly. Just copy this. Okay, there's 1, 2, and then we'll do the same thing for NASDAQ as well. Okay, 1. Remember, we got PPI 830. I didn't forget that. I just don't have it marked up because it does take a little too long to mark up. So actually, you know what? Screw it. I don't care. I was just gonna do it originally because I know these backtesting videos can run on a little bit, and I have thought about doing like a highlights video, but then I also realized that I really just do this for my own study. And honestly, quite frankly, if you're incapable of watching a 30-minute backtesting video every single day, you're not going to be able to be successful with these entry models, in my opinion. So let's see what happens. So we take out the session low. Okay, we took out another session low. This is the news area. So let's see, we can either have a strong 10-minute break of structure, which we can see looks like occurred here. We'll just have to check on the 5-minute. Okay, so on the 5-minute time frame, it looks like we do have a strong 10-minute break of structure. So this is a valid EM1 V2 that we can take right here. Overall, pretty comfortable with this entry since we have the FEG. We had a strong reaction off of that premium array. We can catch this for 3R. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we got swept from the model. It's no problem. So we will mark that as a loss. ES 37. Okay, so SL size 37. Oh, you know what? Actually, before I mark this up as a loss, I do need to start backtesting NASDAQ and ES at the same time, because live trading wise, this could have played out a little differently, and I only want to trade if the biases are the same. So let's see how it played out around the same time. Let's see, before the entry even happened. 8:30. Let's take a look at what happened at 8:30 on NASDAQ. Okay, so 8:30. Okay, so 8:30. You can see that the market did sweep the session low. Okay, market at 9:30, 9:05. Let's see what happened here at 9:30, 9:05. Let's see, 9:30. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I still would have taken this. Okay, so we will mark that up as a loss. EM1 V2. Pair ES closed R 1R less, and that was a valid 1R less, and there's definitely nothing wrong with that entry. 0.5, and then let's copy this as well. Okay, so from here on, if that failed right there, our next draw on liquidity is likely this session high, and this could potentially just be one big fake out towards the previous day high as well. So what we can be doing here is, oh, what happened? Okay, hold on, this happens sometimes. Okay, so what I was trying to say is once this entry failed, essentially, right, at the minimum, I'm looking to come toward these session highs, as the drawn liquidity could actually be the previous day high. We just got faked out. So now that this entry failed, essentially, I do want to look for our next 10-minute break of structure, or market structure shift, sorry, which is going to be this high right here. So it's going to 5-minute time frame to identify it. We can see that we did have a strong break there. And in terms of order block, this is going to be the order block we're looking to take. So 10-minute market structure shift. Okay. Tagging this for 3R, which you can see is pretty nicely aligned. So let's see if this plays out or not. Okay, so we have our next swing high for a break even should this trade come back into profit. Okay, so from this point on, the trade would be set to break even. And we can see, there we go, we have a nice 3R. So let's mark that as a win. 49 ticks, relatively big, but nonetheless still falls within our parameters. So I'm very comfortable with that. So 3R win. Risk, I always risk 0.2 to 0.5%. It's just my own personal preference. I really like the fact that we got this new EM3 model now, because if you've been realizing, at least for April and May of 2022, I haven't uploaded too many of those backtesting sessions just because there's been no opportunities. So I'm not going to be posting a 30-minute video that just has nothing going on in it, right? So now that I have this new model, I'm just going to try to see and re-backtest all of those days, like every single day, to see if the R has increased or decreased. So, okay, so so far for the day, 2R, which is pretty, because we got the one loss here as well, the fake out. So anyways, once this gets swapped, we pretty much want to wait for the previous day high to get taken. And then 4 p.m. comes around, so that's it. So let's check out NASDAQ. NASDAQ, we know for a fact, well, this one, NASDAQ moved way cleaner than ES did. We didn't even have a EM1 V2 happen. Instead, it kind of just had a very clean fake out, which you can see occurred right there. And then if we go on the 5-minute, we can see it did have a clean break. And then in terms of order block, this would be it. Taking a look at the order block, it's a little bit big. So instead, I'm going to want to take all of this candle volume here. It's a relatively big order, so I'm going to be tagging this for 2R only. It's just part of the entry model criteria. Okay, and it looks like we had a 10-minute breaker structure before it had an opportunity to tag our order block. So for that reason, it's just no entry. So 10-minute MSS, and then 186. So there's going to be no entry. So EM1 V1 pair NASDAQ stop loss size 186. Pop that in there. We didn't risk anything because we had no entry, and then this occurred in the AM session. So okay, so let's see if there's any other opportunities for NASDAQ. Probably not, but never know. Okay, so no other opportunities there for the day. So let's remove all our drawings, go back in the 12-minute time frame. Okay, let that play out. Taking a quick look here at the news. Thursday core retail at 8:30. It's good to know. Again, I'm not going to be marking up the buffer specifically for the backtesting sessions, just because I want to save some time. So let's see what can happen here. So okay, this might be a good EM3 opportunity, right? Because the previous day high, which was right here, got swept already, right? EM2 target was kind of met. So the only thing I'd be looking for is the potential opportunity of running an old previous session high, which in this case is also an old daily high, which I don't mark up personally, but definitely something good to know. So to do that, I first need to sweep a session high and then look for an opportunity like that. Actually, no, hold on. EM3 criteria. EM3 has to happen before EM2. Okay, so with that being said, then there's going to be no other opportunities for Thursday then, because EM2, essentially what I'm looking for is once the previous day liquidity is swept, I'm looking to take out this Asia liquidity. But we can see the Asia liquidity was already met, so I have no further targets for the day. EM3 must occur before EM2. We can see here we actually aim for the previous day low, but there's really no reason why I'd be looking for something like that. So anyways, that's it for that day, and then the same's gonna fall for NASDAQ. Don't really care. We're up pretty good for the week, so can't complain. Let's see what happens on Thursday. Whoa, I'm not supposed to be seeing that. Okay, so taking a look on Thursday. Or actually, no, we did Thursday. So this is okay. This is wait, Monday. What? Wait, Thursday. Hold on a minute. Wait, Thursday, and then we just teleported to Sunday, April the 14th. What? Hold on. Wait, what happened here? There's nothing wrong with the contract, but we're just skipping Friday. I don't see what could possibly be wrong here. Thursday, Sunday. Okay. Okay, that's weird. Okay. I guess we're not doing nothing for Friday, but with that being said, let's take a look at the results for the week. So we got 5, 6, 7, 8, and then -1. So we got 7R for the week. And that's incorporating the new EM3 V2 model. If you want to see those breakdowns, check out the Telegram group. Post a lot of stuff on there. This is not at all a mentorship, by the way. It's just stuff that's for my own personal notes, but it helps me to put it out there. And honestly, I can see a couple of you are benefiting from it, so that's good. With that being said, that wraps up the backtesting session.